Hey, happy 8 weeks to me. Technically 9 weeks, but happy end of week 8 for me, thank God. Surprisingly, I feel really, really good today, which is a stark contrast from yesterday where I felt like death. So we're gonna start with the babies and what's going on with them. They're about the size of raspberries now, which is adorable. They have eyelids that are covering their eyes completely, even though those eyes are pretty small. They have hands and feet, even though they're webbed at this point, and their tails are completely gone. So that's a good thing. Hopefully they're gone. And they also are forming joints, like at their knees and elbows and everything. So making some progress there in terms of baby development. In terms of symptoms, those have really progressed. I'm so thankful for diclegious because I'm afraid that without it, I would be so much worse. But yesterday I made the mistake of not eating immediately when I woke up. And so I got up at probably 6:30, and then by 7:15, I was throwing up a lot. It was like not stopping. And obviously I hadn't eaten anything yet, so there wasn't much there. But so I finally recovered from the first bout of that, had a little bit of breakfast. I just had some toast with peanut butter on it, felt sick all the way to work, and then got sick as soon as I got to work, and then spent my whole morning deciding whether I should hurry up and see the patient that I had ready for me, or throw up before and then be good to see the patient, or if I could wait till after. It was a really rough morning. And then when that finally passed, the entire rest of the day I was absolutely exhausted. The exhaustion is unreal. I was having a hard time even keeping my eyes open, and I actually was able to leave work a little bit early, thankfully. So I got off at about 3. I had taken a nap over my lunch break from 12 to 1, the entire hour. Came home at 3, and then took another hour and a half nap when I got home, and then just laid on the couch the whole evening. I was absolutely worthless. I felt like I was just crawling through the day and just trying to survive. It was bad. But then I woke up today, I ate a cracker as soon as I got up. Came really close to throwing up one time this morning, but otherwise I felt great. I've had energy, and I don't feel sick really. I've been able to eat. Yesterday and today are completely different days. And so it makes me worried about what tomorrow's gonna be like, but hopefully just eating that cracker right when I wake up helps. So that's what I'm hoping for. And again, I'm thankful for diclegious because I can't imagine what this would be like without it. And I'm up to the full dose on that, so can't go anywhere from here. I think that's it for symptoms. So that's pretty much it as far as updates. There were a few other things that I wanted to talk about. Somebody asked about names, and I've told this story, or actually Brad told this story on a previous vlog, so sorry if you've already heard it. I will say we're not gonna tell anybody what the names are until the babies are born. We just don't wanna deal with the whole people telling us, oh, that name's horrible, or I had somebody in my 2nd grade class that had that name and they were really mean, or we just don't wanna. We're just gonna tell you the names when there's no changing our minds about it. But we have a girl name picked out already, and we've had it picked out since the 2nd week we were dating. And it is a name that is a street name that we used to go on walks down all the time when we lived in St. Louis. It's just this beautiful street that one side of it is this gorgeous park, and the other side of it is this line of beautiful homes. And when we first started dating, we would walk my dog Rusty up and down that street. And it's a beautiful name, and it's a girl name, and that is what we've picked out for if it's a girl. I'm hung up on if it's twin girls. I don't feel like we can name one of them this name that we've had picked out for 5 years, and then the other one will just be the other one. So we'll see. We've had a few conversations of how we can incorporate another girl name that would be just as cool. So we'll see what happens, but I don't know. Maybe it'll be 2 boys and we won't have a name picked out at all, which we cannot decide on a boy name. We haven't settled on anything that both of us are good with, so I'm not sure about that. The other thing that I've been researching heavily is cloth diapering. And cloth diapering is something that started out super overwhelming to me. What I'm a little bit confused about now is the different types of cloth diapers and which ones are gonna be best for the newborn stage. I think I need to get newborn size diapers, especially since our babies are probably gonna be pretty small. I don't think the 1 size cloth diapers are gonna work for the first few months. So I think I'm gonna get newborn or very small sized diapers to begin with. But in terms of what type we're gonna go with, if we're gonna do all-in-1, all-in-2, pocket, folded with a cover. I'm not really sure on that. And I think what most people do is a combination of those depending on the situation, like if it's nighttime, I don't know. So if you have any tips or like resources for where to get your cloth diaper stash or how to save money on like building your cloth diaper inventory, then let me know below. I'm not wanting to open up a debate about like whether or not we should cloth diaper. I've already made up my mind on that. Yeah, if you just have like good resources for cloth diapering or good like tips and tricks about cloth diapering, then let me know below. I'm set on doing it. I don't think it's much more work once you get the hang of it than disposables, if any. I'm just set on what's best for our babies in terms of like not giving them diaper rash constantly and what's gonna be comfortable on them. And also the environment, obviously. Twins in diapers for 2 years, that's a lot of diapers. I can't stomach putting all of that in a landfill. I'm also just kind of overwhelmed on like baby products in general. Like, are there that many differences between bottles? There are so many bottles out there. So like, I plan on exclusively breastfeeding if I can. I know it's gonna be a lot with twins and we might have to supplement with formula, but so if I breastfeed exclusively, if I'm able to do that and I pump so that Brad can feed them too, what bottles do I put the breast milk in? I don't really know how to do that, or like what bottles are gonna be best. And I know that like some are way better than others and you need some when they have like reflux problems, and I'm just pretty overwhelmed on that. And not just bottles, like every product. But I'm reading books and I'm learning and I'm registering and trying to get all that figured out. So, and I have my next doctor's appointment Monday, where we'll get to see the babies again. That's our last appointment at the fertility clinic. So it's exciting. We're gonna be moving on to a regular OB. I think that's it in terms of updates. Let me know if you have any questions or any comments about what I need to be doing. I'm open to advice. I'm not one of those that's like not welcoming unsolicited advice. Feel free. I guess I'll go ahead and do a bump update. Oh, by the way, this is another LuLaRoe item. This is the Carly dress. And I actually have it bunched in the back. You just pull it in from the inside and tie it with a hair tie so that it kind of makes a little bustle. Otherwise, it's just like really baggy on me. But I think as things progress, I won't have to do this anymore. But I just don't really have, oh, it kind of looks like it when I do that. Maybe I should change. I'm gonna change. Okay, I changed. We're getting ready to take Rusty on a walk anyway, so. Anyway, this is, the lighting here is really terrible, but this is 8 weeks. So this does look a lot different to me. Like, I definitely feel like my body's changing. So I'm pretty sure it's just bloating. Like, everything I've read says that your uterus actually protruding doesn't start until like week 12, but I don't know, this looks different for me. It feels different, even if it's just bloating. This is gonna be a really awkward stage where I just look kind of fat, and I'm okay with it. So I'm just wearing a lot of baggy, loose clothing, and we will embrace it until I actually look pregnant and not fat. So I'm weirdly looking forward to that, and I'm not really sure why, because I know I'm gonna instantly regret it once I'm like too big to put my socks on. But for now, I will enjoy being able to put my socks on and embrace the fact that I just look chubby. So that's week 8, and I'll try to be more on time for week 9, but it's really hard to predict what's gonna happen this next week. They call week 10 the peak of like hormone illness. So we'll see what happens, but we'll hope for the best. And I will continue trying to eat a cracker right when I wake up, because I think that was maybe my mistake yesterday. I don't know, maybe I'll just have bad days. So thanks for watching. Sorry, this was like way longer than I thought it was going to be. So thanks for sticking with me through this, and I'll see you next week. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It helps support our channel. See you next time.